Happy morning to all. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Today we are stepping into the fifth day, that is final day of this 5 days national level webinar on education in COVID-19 challenges and opportunities, organized by Department of Business Administration, Cauvery College for Women Autonomous, Trichy, Tamil Nadu. Participants, kindly note, mute your microphone and turn off your video to avoid technical issues. Don't present your screen during the session. The feedback link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the session. Kindly fill the feedback form within a stipulated time period to get your e-certificate. If you have any queries, kindly post it in the chat box. A good start must be smart. It's my privilege to welcome Dr. J. Tamil Chelvi, Head Department of Business Administration, Cauvery College for Women Autonomous, to welcome and to introduce our today's resource person. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neela. Pleasant morning to all. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. It is with a profound feeling of fulfillment and gratitude I offer my most humble and heartfelt thanks to our role model management, and I'm extremely grateful to welcome our dynamic Madam Principal, Dr. Mrs. V. Sujata. I offer my abundant gratitude for her help, direction, motherly care, motivation, and faith on us, which has been instrumental in completion of this 5-day national level webinar. You are the factor behind all our success, ma'am. I welcome you, ma'am. I offer my sincere welcome to our advisors, Mr. Sendilvel Krishnasamy, former Senior Logistic Controller, Imperial International Limited, Logistic Accounts Manager in Retail Sector, United Kingdom. Dr. K.V.Rama, Head Department of Business Administration, NGM College, Pollachi. And the Zonal Committee members, Dr. A. Dinesh Kumar, Director, Siddhartha Educational and Research Federation, Jaipur, Odisha. Dr. K. Venkateshan, Professor of Computer Engineering, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Maharashtra, who continuously guide and help us to make this webinar a remarkable one. The pleasure is mine in welcoming our today's resource person, Dr. K.V.Rama Murthy, Head and Associate Professor, Department of MBA, Mother Teresa Institute of Science and Technology, Southapalli Khammam, Telangana. Sir has completed his BCom, MBA and PhD and also acting as a research advisor. He has a rich experience of more than 10 years in teaching and currently working as a Head Department of MBA at Mother Teresa Institute of Science and Technology, Southapalli Khammam, Telangana. Sir plays many roles such as resource person for national level seminars, PhD Viva examiner, reviewer for more than 9 reputed journals, and also member for Indian Academic Researchers Association, I Explore International Research Journal Consortium, and Institute for Exploring Advances in Engineering. Sir has shared his knowledge through more than 16 publications in world-reputed journals. He is a researcher, author, teacher, and a leader. In short, he is a man of excellence. I welcome you, sir. My previous welcome to each and every participant for this final day of the 5 days national level webinar on education in COVID-19 challenges and opportunities. You are about to make history with us. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you,
wonderful.
ma'am. Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your nice introduction. 1 minute. Your positive action combined with the positive thinking results in success. In fact, success is a journey, not a destination. May I now request our today's eminent resource person, Dr. K.V.Rama Murthy, Associate Professor and Head, Department of MBA, Mother Teresa Institute of Science and Technology, Telangana, to take over the session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your sweet introduction of my profile. And I thanks for giving a wonderful opportunity to present the topic on opportunities, issues, and challenges of overview. Simply, we can call it as overview of micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs in India. So we know that the present scenario, we know that the business, the entire economy has been slowed down. So once upon a time, this economy has been boosted up with the concept of this MSME. So let us, first I would like to discuss about uh, the evolution of this MSME and how this has brought and how this uh, concept has boosted up the Indian economy. The first, I think I would like to discuss about this. The first, let us discuss about MSME first. Micro, small, and medium enterprises. So this has become a backbone of economy, especially why? Because it is contributing nearly 30% of GDP of a nation. So how this policy has been evaluated? Let us discuss about this. The first framework of this policy has been taken by the government of India and developed this MSME Act, make as a MSME Act in three phases. The first phase is in the duration of 1948 to 1951. So this phase where they called it as SSI, that is small scale industries. So initially to study of this, they had started to identify what are the benefits that are available with this policy. So for example, the main situation in the duration after independence, that is 1948, the main situation is the distribution of national income to the all citizens and providing the good facilities to the citizens by mobilizing the resource. So this is the situation where India is facing. So how this has to be boosted? So here the government of India has studied in this angle and developed four arguments which are very, very favorable for small scale industries. So for this, they had established a committee called as Cauvery Committee, which is a committee which has been established in 1955. The committee has given four positive arguments by making a favorable for small scale industries. The first argument given by the Cauvery Committee is employment argument. Employment argument. So that is, we know that the self-employed full democracy, as we call it as self-government. So for the visualization of small scale industries, we know that the small scale industries are more labor incentives. So intensives, more labor intensives. So there is a chance of creating more employability per unit capital which is used for investment. So there is a lot of chance for the employment opportunity for the youth and the public. And also, let us talk about the second argument which is specified by the committee, that is equity argument. So according to this argument, we know that small scale industries are very, very important. Why? Because they generate income. They generate more income by utilizing the community income benefits. That is, by driving all the population where large scale is mostly concentrate on economic growth, and this small scale industries are concentrate on the rural development of the nation and strengthening the social life of the rural people. We know that large companies are concentrated and established in the well-established cities and towns, whereas most of these small scale are established in the villages and the rural areas. So that is also one of the equitable benefit. That means distributing the economic benefit and economic growth of a nation equally for urban areas and rural areas equally. And also they had given another argument, that is Latin resource argument. So Latin resource argument, according to this argument, it is an assumed that the unutilized resource, utilization of unutilized resource can be done with the small entrepreneurs activities. Okay, the wealth which is not utilized, the wealth which is kept as a idle, can be utilized more effectively with the concept of small scale industries. So this argument also helps the dynamic side of the dynamic element of the economy. And also the last statement, that is called as decentralized argument. Decentralized argument. So this is also similar to the equity argument, where equity argument is discussed about the wealth concept, that is distribution of wealth and wealth concept to the wide of the community, to all the urban and rural, whereas decentralized concept is discussed that the decentralization concept is described that utilization of these regional benefits, regional balances of the economy. So that is that there will be regional balances in nation. That is, if you see in the present scenario, before COVID, that is in the duration of 2018, it is stated that after agriculture, the most contribution of growth rate in GDP is done by the small scale industry. That means there is a development, rural development also has been a chance for developing with this. Okay, so let us discuss. So with this argument, with the arguments, or with the committee given the report, the government of India has decided to establish Small Industrial Development Organization, SIDO. It has decided to establish this. So within the 2 years of the report, they had developed small industrial corporations, the Khadi and village industrial commissions, and the core board was set up for the for taking supportive measures for the development of and the nature of requirement of MSMEs, MSCs. Okay, so in the form of reserving some items, manufacturing of some items for which is exclusively should be manufactured by the small scale industries. So that is, this program is called as Priority Sector Lending Program. So for that, the government also given the support of financial support, credit financial support. That is, these products which are produced by small scale industries are purchased. 15% of this purchase will be done by the government. Okay, this is about the concept what. And also they also developed the importance of infrastructure development of these MSMEs. They also concentrated on development of infrastructure development, and some institutions has been established, such as called as small industrial service institutions, which helps these institutions has been established all over the country, state-wise and district-wise, and help these. The main objective of these institutions is to train the young people to develop the entrepreneurial skills in them. So this some of the tool rooms also established by this institutions to provide the technical services that which are essential for entrepreneur skill training. And the lateral stage of the development of MSME has been changed. Why? Because in 1948 to 1950, 1948 to 1991, this is a initial growth of the economy. But after 1991, we all know that industrial policy, which has been introduced by the former P.V. Narasimha Rao, former Prime Minister, which they had introduced. They had made a drastic change, making reforms in the industrial policy. So due to this, the MSMEs has faced a little bit competition. So due to the privatization, globalization, and liberalization, so global competition has entered in Indian economy. So this is the thing. So to overcome and to support, so as the beginning we have talked about that the MSME will help to boost up and strengthen the economy unutilized by using unutilized resource and also provide greater employability. But now they had made an objective. This objective has been this concept has been becoming weak due to the privatization, liberalization, and globalization. Due to globalization, the global competitors, the global companies has entered in the Indian economy by investing their capital. So there is a huge competition where we know that MSME means small scale industries cannot compete much more with the global competitor. So they become very difficulty for performing. So for this they brought a new policy called as small tiny village entrepreneurs in August 1991, and they had made from framework with this concept of due to this contest of liberalization, they have made some protectivity concepts for MSME and infused the more viable and growth of MSMEs in facing of foreign competition and open market. So 1991 industrial policy has brought the open market. So the competition from the foreign competitors and open market. So for the strengthening and supporting of the small scale industry, the government has framed new policies. So for improving the performance, utilization of technology, okay, and promoting of small scale industrial products, they had made some steps. For example, the supportive steps, which are infrastructure, technology, and quality. This is the first most step has been taken. So to face the global competition, these three are very, very important. So they supported for the small scale industry. The government of India has supported the small scale industry to strengthen the infrastructure and availability of new technology for utilization for the small scale industries, and obviously this will improve the quality. So it is with this the government thought that too the small scale industry also can compete with the global competition, and they also has established some testing centers to set up the quality testing centers. So which are given a certified, that is, the small scale industries are also certified by the government of India that they are producing as per the standards. So this is also one of the benefit for overcoming the competition. And also new tool rooms and as well as subcontract exchanges were also established. So with this, the government of India has established a separate mobilization fund, distribution of mobilization fund, that is called as Small Industrial Development Bank of India, SIDBI. So the main purpose of this bank is to mobilize and accelerate the finance and technical services to the sector. So, for example, the delay in payment of they had introduced an act called as Delay Payment Act. So, which enhanced the facility prompt payment of dues to the small scale industries, and industrial infrastructure development IID schemes were introduced and launched. A set of mini industrial industries and agro and rural industries has been set, that is SSI and ARI has been set in 1991 and came in focus and help the small scale industry to develop and promote this sector widely. And also the new policy packages also has been announced in the duration of August 2000. So for this, the main objective of this policy is to overcome the problems arises due to credit, infrastructure, technology, marketing, and more marketing should be done more effectively. So the problems which arises from this has to be overcome. For that, they had announced a new policy. So that is called as a credit linked capital subsidy scheme was launched and announced for the upgradation of small scale entrepreneurs, and credit guarantee schemes also started and provided collateral free loans to the micro and small enterprises, particularly for first generation enterprises. And also they have given some exemptions limit. They also given some exemption limit. The policy has given some exemption limit, that is giving some relief for the payment of central excise duty was raised from 1 crore, and a market development assistance scheme for micro small enterprises was introduced through the new policy package which is announced in August 2000. At the same time, some constitutions were held that the shareholders to list out the products reserved for the list which has been prepared for reservation of under this sector has been added. Some new products list has been added in the list. Finally, in 2006, a long waiting enhancement of this sector has been became reality by introducing MSME Act, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Act. For the first time, medium enterprises has been introduced in this. So new definitions has been given based on the category of enterprises, depend upon investment. The definitions has been defined on the basis of investment done by the enterprises. So micro enterprises means where investment on plant and machinery is not less than 25 lakhs, and small enterprises where means where investment on plant and machinery is not more than 25 lakhs and not exceed for 5 crores. Similarly, uh, the medium enterprises where the investment on plant and machinery is more than 5 crores and not exceed 10 crores. So this is about manufacturing industry, definition of manufacturing industry. Whereas service industry, it is different. So while coming to the service industries, the micro enterprises where the investment on plant and machinery is less than 10 lakhs, not less than 10 lakhs. And small enterprises means where the investment is more than 10 lakhs and not extended to 2 crores. And whereas medium enterprises means where the investment on plant and machinery is more than 2 crores and not extended to 5 crores. So like this, they had developed definitions for each and every enterprises and had given definition for each one. So after this 2006 introduction of MSME Act, they have identified a drastical progress in the contribution of MSME. So when compared to 94 and 94, 95 to 2007 and 2008, they had identified a drastical development. For example, for the reality, if we go for the statistics, the total number of small-scale industries has been increased from 79.6 lakhs in 1994-95 to 133.68 lakhs in 2007-2008 at an annual growth rate of 41%. So that means the enterprises has been increased. So the employment has been increased. So per capita income of the people has been increased. So this helped for the growth of the economy. Okay. And next, if you go through the statistics of production, if you see the statistics of production, it has been statistically determined that the total production has been increased from 2,98,886 crores to in crores in 1994 to 1995 to rupees 6,95,125 crores in 2007 to 2008. So there is a drastical increment in the production also has been observed by bringing the act, and also the total employment So the total, sorry for disturbance, the total employment also has been drastically increased from 146.56 lakhs in 94-95 to 322.26 lakhs increased. So we can see the drastical change. And also if we come for the exports also increased from 29,068 crores to 1,77,500 crores in 2006 to 2007. So since we can see that in the classification of industries has boost up the economy as based on the above statistics. So that's where they had recognized as the engines of economic growth. The MSMEs are recognized as engines for economic growth. Later, the same act of the long duration, the same act has been amendmented in 2008 by the bill passed by the Union Minister Giriraj Singh in Lok Sabha. They had made definite changes in definitions to boost up the economy. Okay. Instead of investment, they have changed the definition of MSMEs by using the turnover of the MSMEs. So the introduction of MSME Act has boosted the economy, and after let us see the amendment of MSME in 2008. So the union bill which has been passed for defining the MSMEs basis on annual turnover irrespective of their manufacturing and service providers. There is no division of service. Irrespective of manufacturing and service sector, they had defined MSMEs. So micro enterprises means where the turnover is not less than 5 crores. Small enterprises means where the turnover is more than 5 crores and not extended to 75 crores. And the medium enterprises comes under where the turnover is more than 75 crores and not exceed for 250 crores. Like this, they have changed the definition of the benefits of this company. The benefits of this amendment of MSME Act in 2018 is there is more benefit for the starters. It becomes incentivized industries, fairer competition between older and newer ventures, and help utilize MSME SOPs. That means government schemes which has been introduced. So it is easy to develop the sector-wise benefits. If you observe, there is a utilization of friendlier technology incentives industry, more benefit for the technology benefit industries. Why? Because this 21st century become more familiar for technology. Later, it is very easy to provide benefits to the MSMEs. Why? Because the annual turnover can be easily verified by the government with the concept of GST network. As we know that GST is introduced, so through this easily trace out the turnover, and based on that the incentives can be provided for them, and this will help the MSMEs grow into bigger size and have a global competitors and strengthen the economy. So up to now we have seen the evolution part of this MSMEs. Now let us see the opportunities of this sector. So there is a drastical opportunity, as we observed from the evolution part itself. There is a drastical opportunities under this sector. If you go for the growth rate of this sector, after the agriculture, the most after the agriculture sector, the most second most occupied employability sector is MSME. This sector accounts 95% in industries and 45% of manufacturing and 40% in exports total exports of the 40% of exports has been occupied by MSMEs, total exports of the country. And also there is a lot of opportunity for accelerate industries. So accelerate industries. So there is a less capital incentives, more employment friendly, and having easily accessible raw material, and having lot of subsidized schemes, and more incentives for cluster programs, I mean division of the program zonal wise, more incentives are available. So the growth rate of the growth rate is more greater in any other industrial sector. The development of this sector is extremely holds and play a pivotal role in holistic development of the country. And if we go for the Indian economy, the contribution of MSME, we know that India is the fourth largest economy in the world in terms of PPT mode, and the second in developing Asia, with 22% of population and 32.5% of potential workforce in developing infrastructure, abundant job opportunities, emergency of robust private sector with small and big companies or corporate houses. So this MSME sector has potentialized sorry. Sorry for inconvenience. Sorry for inconvenience.
No problem, sir.
So there is a drastical development of the drastical development growth of economy with this MSME sector. So here, if you observe, the domestic and international value chain in manufacturer and suppliers, distributors and retailers, contractors and service providers, there is a segment-wise industrial units. That is, this segment has been contributing 8% of annual growth in this. So this is about the lot of opportunities and development in this. And while coming to the innovations and implementing of new technologies, so this industry also has developed infrastructure by innovations and adequate infrastructure facilities, and also communication system, but linkages between market and bilaterally traded agreements, etc. That the government of India has supported various schemes for to face the global competition, and in this area also it is very supportive. That's why there is an emerging challenges and help to ensure the sustainability of this sorry. This is about the technology and innovations. And MSME, the contribution of this MSME estimation, 8%, the contribution of MSME is 8% targeted increment in contribution of MSME for the future. That is, they had targeted for 8 to 15% in 2000 2018 18 by 2020. But the situation is entirely different. Why? Because the virus, due to the COVID-19 coronavirus, the things has been entirely disturbed. So this about the coronavirus and its impact, I will discuss in a few minutes. So the employment growth also, they are estimating that 50% there is an enhancement in employment. So these are the challenge. These are the challenges which are things. Opportunities available in the sector. While coming to the issues and challenges, we can say the present letter. Let me discuss about uh, the general issues and challenges. Thereafter, we will discuss about the problems and issues which are faced by the MSMEs in the present situation, COVID-19 2020, and let me explain it later. So here, the issues and the challenges of this sector is uh, is also one of the things. That is, everything has their own merits and demerits. So this sector also some challenges and issues. So the MSME report has been given in February 2015 and identified 15 key issues. The key issues: equity as a source of financing is underutilized in this sector, and also MSME face problems of delay in payments for their buyers. Okay, this is also, and which shows an impact on working capital, and this is also one of the issue. And MSMEs also lack in adequate information about the schemes and benefits which are available for them by the government of India. And also financial institutions problems, challenges faced by from the financial institutions such as credit risk assessment for etc. are also one of the major challenges and issue. And also utilization of available credit generated insurance schemes by the banks etc. These are the major things which is identified by the committee, financial architecture of MSME committee, reported in February 2015. So there are major challenges which are faced by the entrepreneurs. That is, lack of adequate credit and capital, poor and inadequate infrastructure facility, inadequate access and marketing linkages, and a lack of human resource, dilemma and cumbersome of regulation practices for clearance, and poor adaptation of emerging international coordinations and linkages between various stakeholders, including government, industries, agencies, and association workers, etc. So these are the major issues and challenges. Generalized things: lack of adequate capital and credit, and poor and inadequate infrastructure, inadequacy access and market linkages, lack of skilled human resource, lack of access to the new technology, and these are the generalized things that we can go through. Like this, they had made they had identified 15 issues and challenges faced by the MSME. Later, for the benefit of this, to boost up of this, they had frameworked some suggestions. So that is easy access to finance and credit. So the government of India has to develop a credit policy and prepare a loan application that easy to access for the MSMEs. and to easy to get the loan from the MSMEs. So by reducing the interest rate, by reducing the framework, that the reasonable framework and the support to fill the application, etc. for them. That is one of the thing that can be overcome the issues and opportunities. Stepping of infrastructure and support facility. So the basic infrastructure such as water, power supply, road lines, and telecommunication connections, etc., are very must be done with priority basis. We know that most of the MSMEs are located in rural area where the infrastructure becomes very difficult. So they have to concentrate on that. The renewable energy also has to be used for beneficiation, for providing subsidized schemes for infrastructure benefits. That will be helped. And cluster-wise, cluster-centric and cluster development should be developed so that they can go sequential procedure for development and distribution of infrastructure. So this is also one of the remedy that can be overcome for the issues and challenges. And creation of adequacy market linkage, providing benefits, providing subsidized or enhancing, providing subsidized schemes for examining, for regulating, for exhibition of the products, MSME products. So better marketing facilities. So that has to be mandated that 20% of procurement of MSMEs should be procured by the Government of India Department or state PSUs should be ensured for the 20% of the production should be purchased by the government, central government or state government. And they also improve the skill development and capacity building programs for the young entrepreneurs. Why? Because the things has been changing drastically. So the government has to be make certain resource being developing human resource infrastructure. So that is rural self-employment training incentives. So this is also one of the suggestible scheme that they can be implemented for. So this can be done by TV, radio, etc., where they're difficult in communication sector, and accessing of modern tools and technology. This is also very necessary. Global market is gone increasing. So technical obstacles will happen in the rural area. To overcome this, they have to adopt new and modern latest tools and technology to increase the quality of the product for competitive advantage. So, and also policy intensives and supportive mechanisms has to be developed by the Government of India by bringing of guidelines for the RBI and RBI, bringing the guidelines for the RBI to bring out the new guidelines to strengthen the weakened, that is stressed or sick industries in this sector. This is about the previous, that is means before COVID-19. Let us discuss about the situation, what the impact of MSMEs due to COVID-19. So this virus, has impact a lot of there has been given a lot of impact on the world economy. So as we are not exempted from that, as we till today the cases has been drastically increasing. The few days each state is announcing that thousands of cases every day. And today, as per the yesterday's records, the cases has been reached near to 25 lakhs or more than 25 lakhs. So the COVID-19 and impact of MSME sector. So I will not discussing blah blah blah. I will discuss only the important aspects. So due to this COVID-19 virus, this is a virus which spread to human the contacts. So the government has been announced lockdown in different stages, and it is now lockout period. So due to what the production has been stopped. If we talk about the large scale industries, small scale industries and MSMEs, if you talk about the large scale industries can be sustained. The potentiality is different. They can be hold for a certain period. Why? Because they have the potentiality to bear the problem. Whereas if you talk about MSMEs, where small scale, micro, medium and small scale industries, which are done by the most of the rural area, where the unemployment has been the no salary payment, so no production, no marketing, no consumption, except the necessary goods, except the necessary products. There is no consumption for the other products. So the current statistics, if you see the current statistics, there is 63 million micro enterprises are there, and 0.3 million small scale enterprises are there, and 5,000 medium enterprises are there, where their annual turnover is 25 lakhs to 5 crores of turnover. Due to this COVID-19, there is a problem in supply chain distribution, and there is a problem in collapse of demand, and there is a problem in cost of utilization service. Okay, cost of utilization service. So that means even though we don't utilize the things, we have to provide some cost. So that is, and labor for destruction and repay of bank loans. These are the major issues that we have to recognize. So there is a survey conducted by the experts. That is, as we know that 33.4% of Indian manufacturing output is made by MSMEs. And employment also, the current statistics, I am talking about the current statistics, and employment about 120 millions and generating 45% of Indian export is contributed by this MSMEs. So this has been stopped due to this lockdown. This becomes some difficulty in the duration of this. And also it has been identified that the survey made by 70% of the businesses were unable to pay the salaries to the employees, MSME employees. The survey has been conducted by all Indian manufacturing organization and identified that they are unable to, 71% of the businesses are unable to pay the salaries for the employees. And also they are, if the same procedure continues, it becomes, that is duration of lockdown. For schedule they had given the duration. If these things, 43% of the shutdowns will be, 43% of the MSME will be shut down. So how to overcome this MSME sector and survey in this typical situation? So in this COVID-19 situation. COVID-19 situation. So to overcome this COVID-19 situation, the government of India has given some benefits to this sector. So let us see what are the benefits given to the sector. So the central government has been taken some measurements to overcome the pandemic situation. The first thing is 3 lakhs crores collateral free automated loans for businesses has been announced by the government of India, including MSMEs. Okay, this scheme was being available for 31st October 2020, and they had announced 20,000 crores subsidized debt for stressed MSMEs, means sick MSMEs, where government of India is providing for their sustainability. And they also announced rupees 5,000 crores rupees 5,000 crores has been announced by the government of India, equity infusion for MSME through fund of funds. So the main objective of this is equities will help more strengthen the introducing of the stock market. The listing helps the MSMEs to enter into the stock market, listed company. And also the new definition for MSME has been given by the central government. The earlier definitions has been combined. The definitions has been given that is based on investment and annual turnover. So the definitions has been changed. So definitions has been changed, like irrespective of manufacturing and service. Micro enterprises means investment is less than 1 crore and turnover less than 5 crore. Small enterprises means investment less than 10 crores, turnover less than 50 crores. Medium enterprises means where the investment is less than 20 crores and turnover is less than 100 crores. Like this, they had given they had developed the amendments, changes has been take place, and also the global trends to be disallowed up to 200 crores. That means the Indian government disqualify the global tenders for the investment of 200 crores projects. That means they are giving a chance for the MSME companies for make the tenders which are up to 200 crores, where the global competitors may not enter with this restriction, and it helps them to overcome. Like this, they also announced they have also given the announcement of countermeasures of the pandemic. Okay, so like this, they had given various types of measurements to overcome the problems arised for the MSMEs due to this pandemic COVID-19. Even though after lockdown, even though these schemes are provided for the MSME, they say till there is a difficulty. So let us discuss about the difficulty issues, even though the benefits provided by the announced by the government of India. For example, we know that as we discussed about the supply chain destruction, collapse of demand, and cost of unutilized services, lack of labor force destruction, repay of banks. So somehow they had, but even though there is a difficulty is there. Why? Because the RBI and Government of India has taken the steps to overcome the MSME by giving financial benefits. But till there is a bottlenecks are there. So, for example, not example, if the reality, if you talk about the reality, the refinance facility, which is facility announced by RBI, 15 trillions. Okay, this window is for only selected group of enterprises whose have been comes under threshold of PPP mode. PPP mode. This become a difficult, and this benefit cannot be reached to all the sectors of MSME. And also this help, and also they did not talk about the liquidity problems arises for the MSMEs. And liquidity problems for the first amount. The share of MSMEs is less than 5%. The share of MSME is less than 5%. If you talk about financial securities, if the government of India has to provide, why? Because due to the earlier situation, there is non-performing assets and not paying by the companies for the banks are also not willing to pay for the organizations without proper things. In such cases, these MSMEs cannot provide all the things that the bank recommends. So in such cases, we can recommend them to make as invoice as a security. Trace the invoice of the invoice and make the identify the performance, and based on that you give the loans to the MSMEs. And if we clear-cutly observe that 99% of MSME are informal. That is, they are not regulated in under Factories Act or Companies Act or something is PF of government. So 90% are informal. So the schemes provided by the benefits provided by the government may not reach this informal MSMEs. This is also one of the things. And the another thing, there is a lot of supply chain destruction. Even though after the lockout, it is difficult to make the transportation of the goods and transportation of workers to the workplace. Why? Because there are a lot of red zones in the nation where it becomes very difficult to transport the goods and the human resource to the workplace, and distribution of goods and workers or the workforce also fearing to work in the things. And also the government of India does not given any guidelines for sanitization concept of workplace. This is also one of the things. So this has made fear in the workforce to get into work. So this is also one of the major things, even though the government has announced a lot of incentives or etc. blah blah blah, that this realistic situation we have to observe, and this has to be overcome. So we have to for this we have to wait and see. So how far the vaccine will come, whether at the end of this year or the next year we have to look after. So these are the various things, the overview of the MSME sector that I I thought to express my knowledge to you all, my thoughts to you all. If anything, if any queries regarding this, you can raise so that I can give the answers. And thanks to all the head of the department, principal, and the coordinator of this program. Thanks to all the participant students and the faculty member, and thanks for all them for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you all. Thank you
Thank
all
you
for
very much, sir.
thank you, madam. Thank you.
Rising ingredient for successful innovation. Innovation and technology is the needed pandemic time. Definitely, this pandemic way for new technology and innovation. I am Dr. Nee, Associate Professor, Department of Business Administration. Was the vote of thanks. It is with a profound feeling of gratitude I offer my most humble and sincere prayer to Almighty Cauvery College for Women Autonomous for giving me this great. I register my sincere thanks to our dynamic madam V. Sujata for her enlightenment, motivation, instrumental in completion of this fight successfully. Thank you, ma'am. You are braver than you believe, you seem, smarter than you think, and loved you will ever know. Thank you very much, ma'am. Associate Professor and Head, Mother Teresa Institute of Science and Technology, Telangana, for his gracing this occasion with a thought-provoking words. Thank you, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
K.V.Rama, Head Department of Business Administration, NGM. Hard work in silence. Takes notes. Thank you very much, sir, for your guidance and a timely help to change my ideas into action. Encourage. Thank you, sir. The team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. The pleasure is mine. Controller, imperial logistic account manager in retail sector, United Kingdom. Thank you. Advisor, Dr. K.V.Rama, Head Department of Business Services, Kolachi, the instrumentalist of the program. Thank you, sir. Kumar, Director, Siddhartha Educational and Research Federation. Dr. K. Venkatesan, Professor of Computer Engineering, Maharashtra. Thank you, sir. The 5 days filled with 5 resource different. Mr. Suresh Rajagopal, Corporate Trainer, External Faculty, College is Gujarat. Dr. Deepika Kohli, Assistant College of Education, Punjab. Dr. Kolachina Srinivas, Associate KL Dim to University, Andhra Pradesh. Ms. Sailaja, Management, USA Institute of Kerala. Dr. K.V.Rama Murthy, Head, Associate Professor, MBA, Mother Teresa Institute of Science and Technology, Telangana. Thank all the 5 resource persons for their valuable in this. Pleasure is mine in thanking Dr. J. Tamil Chelvi, Head Department of Business, and my fellow colleagues for their support and encouragement. Thank the participants across the country for their active participants. Kindly fill certificate. Not all of us can do great. We can do small things with great love. I would like to thank all the participants, principals, HODs, faculty members from our own institution